Good evening, morning or afternoon, depending where in the world you're watching this. And now for an amazing Let's Play, Light of My Life. I love you, Earth. You're where I make dookies. Bright. The light is blinding as I wake up to a brand new day. The sun is shining right in my face, so bright it feels like it could burn my skin off. That's unpleasant. Of course, that isn't a problem for me, because you see, I am the sun! It's just shifting to sunrise when I get out of bed. I've always been an early riser from the day I was born. Call it habit. Unfortunately, other people are less excited about the prospect. What's that cat doing to the other cat? He's like, you live in this box now! It's Cat Torture Calendar, my favorite calendar! Mercury. Dude, turn it off already, man! We'll turn off what, Mercury, son? Yourself, dude, I'm freaking roasting here. How am I supposed to sleep like this? I sigh. Mercury is my roommate, and he's not much of a morning person, or an afternoon person, or an evening person. Actually, he's kind of a blur. All things considered, days with him tend to fly by really fast. I think that's his calendar. Dude, you don't need to get up at this hour anyway. You've got your mailman job. Dude, don't you need to get up at this hour anyway? You got your mailman job to get to. Screw that, man. The mail can deliver itself today. Now hurry up and turn it down. Friendly as ever, I focus my efforts, turning my blinding light into a dull hum. Mercury-san seems comfortable, but only for a second. Soon he's shivering under the covers. Oh, dude, I take it back. Turn it on. Turn it on. Of course, he's either boiling or he's freezing. You just can't please some people, I guess. Whatever. I'll see you in class. He answers with a whimper. He talks big, but he's pretty scrawny when it comes down to it. No wonder no one hangs around him. After I'm done with breakfast, I poke out of the door to the dorm. I look left, nobody. Then right, no one. Coast seems to be clear. Thank goodness. With a sigh of relief, I head out into the open air and... Sora-kun! So-kun! Oh god, they found me. There's a whole crowd of girls squeezing in to get close to me. I don't know why, but my presence seems to attract girls like this. Big fatties with hula hoops. Oh, so good! Look at this sweet ring I bought. It's cool, right? Saturn is the loudest of them. She waves her weight around to try and hold the others back from reaching me. She's pretty enough, I guess, and she's got a nice radius, if you know what I mean. But I can't get over the fact that she's full of hot air, and I mean, like, noxious fart gas. Give up, Saturn. So cool's not gonna be won over by cheap jewelry. He knows a real woman when he sees one, am I right? Jupiter, I know it's mean, but I can't stop staring at that spot on her forehead. Seriously, that thing is huge! Does she not know it's there, or does she just not give a damn about it? Either way, she seems to take my awkward look as a sign of affection. So-kun, I'm sorry that my friends are so mean, but I was wondering if you'd like to maybe walk to school with us? Earth, you're so desperate. Earth is the closest of the three girls to being civil, and to be honest, there's a lot to like about her. She's got pretty trees, a nice atmosphere, and even liquid water. She knows how to get wet. The only problem from what I've heard is she's got a pretty rampant human affection. That's nasty! I don't want anything to do with those things, so I better do my best to let her down gently. She's got STDs. Gross. So, girls, you're all lovely, but I need to run. I'm already late for class. Sorry. Of course it doesn't work. Everybody wants some of this hot action. Oh, what was Jupiter's voice? Why, no fair, you never hang around us. What's up with you? Are we not good enough for you or something? So-kun, don't you like us? Yeah, this one's so wrong, I can't even put it into words. Time to make an emergency exit! Exit stage left! Ah! Focusing my energy, I send a burst of energy through my corona. There's a blinding light as far as the eyes can see. Solar flare! Too bright! Ew. No, my electromagnetic field! My satellites! That's my jewelry. When the light dissipates, there's no sign of the Stalkers. I take a moment to catch my breath. Those flames take a lot out of me. Cosmic fire fart. There's a few seconds I notice. After a few seconds, I still notice there's one of the girls left behind. It's Moon. You're mean. I raise an eyebrow. Moon is a strange one. She hangs around with all the other girls, but she's the only one who doesn't seem to have an interest in me. I think she's a lesbian. I mean, I'm glad there's one less girl chasing me, but there's something about her that just feels weird. Maybe it's her own obsession with one of her friends. How am I mean? Earth-chan didn't deserve that. You're just being cruel. Is there anything you talk about other than Earth-san? Oh, what's it? Moon's blushing. Of course there is! There's some satellites, natural wonders and shit. Those are all Earth-san made. Shut up, shut up! You just don't want anything to do with her because you're jealous, aren't you? You'd love to be as pretty as she is. Speak for yourself. There are people who'd kill to be as grossly incandescent as me. Moon-san, it's true, isn't it? What is? There are rumors about that Earth-san gave you her infection. Oh, they did it! That's how humans ended up on the moon. They did it. What? Who told you heard about that? So it's true then, isn't it? Yes, I mean, no, I mean, it's just for a little bit, okay? I don't have any humans anymore, I promise. Stay clear of that. I stare at her unimpressed. She looks ready to cave in. Kratos first. Just forget it, okay? You're a meanie, and Earth-chan deserves better than you, dummy. With that, she turns on her axis and leaves, presumably to chase down her significant other. Can't believe that human's disgusting. Great, the day's barely started, I've already got a headache. Why the heck do women have to be so complicated? By the time I make it to school, I am horribly late. I take a glance at the school's clock tower. I'm an hour behind schedule at least. For other students, this might have been frightening. But students like me get a lot of special privileges. Oh, Galileo? Sol-kun, there you are. Hey, Galileo Sensei. Sensei, how you doing? Good morning. Konnichiwa. It is, isn't it? A wonderful day, a wonderful sun to thank for it. You'll be glad to know I held off class today until your arrival. No point squandering the daylight hours, is there? I smile and bow towards him. It helps to have a friend in high places. What happened to his arm? Thank you, Galileo Sensei. No, Sol-kun, thank you! You're my brightest student, so I wouldn't let anything get between you and your education, understand? I nod. Galileo Sensei is a strange one, but he's got my best interests in mind. My old teacher was some religious nut who wouldn't stop fawning over Earth. Compared to him, Galileo is a huge improvement. I slip into the corridors just quickly enough to fall into the morning rush. Again, I look around in search of someone, but this time, it's not to run away. It's just to say, you know, hello or something. After a few minutes of walking, my prayers are answered. Alpha Senpai! Good morning, Sol-kun. I smile brilliantly. Just seeing her makes all the irritations of the day fade away. This is my Senpai. Senpai? Alpha Centauri! She's in the class besides mine. Like me, she's the top student everyone else is always hanging around, trying to borrow test answers from. I hope she doesn't burn you! Oh! We don't have any classes together, but I always make an effort to talk to her during breaks. She seems to prefer me to most of her classmates, and from what I've seen of her, I can't blame her. Today, though, Alpha seems different. Downcast, even. You're a little late today, aren't you? I'm never late. I arrive exactly when I feel like it. I'm the sun. I do what I want. You're a funny one, Sol-kun. Or is it So-kun? I don't know. She smiles, but the sadness mired in that expression is blindingly obvious. This isn't like her. Normally she's as peppy and as excitable as I am. What's wrong? You feeling okay? You look a little cold. It's nothing. I'm fine. You know you are fine. She tries to smile again, but she's terrible at lying. There's something going on here, and I don't know if I like it. Anyway, classes should be starting soon. You better get going, Sol-kun. Alrighty, but I only just got here. I'm sure you got better things to do than talk to me anyway. I don't. No, Alpha Centauri, I don't! And just like that, she falls back into the crowd and walks away. I'm frozen for a few seconds after that. She's never rejected me like that before. Did I do something wrong? Was this something I said? I have no idea. That meeting is still stuck in my head when I make it to class. What's wrong with her? Is it me? Is it something else? All I want to ask her. That's all I want to ask her, but she's trying her best to shirk me. I'm so focused on it, I miss most of class. I don't even answer when my name comes up in roll call. Naturally, Galileo doesn't seem to call me up on it. The whole world is a blur. I can't think of anything but what I saw in the corridor. I only realize it's lunch break when somebody pokes me. Hey, Venus. Shiny, you still with us? I shudder without really meaning to, standing up straight in my chair. Venus-san, are we doing a group project or something? Sir, you really are hopeless, aren't you? You've been staring off in the distance since first period. Don't take a scientist to tell us there's something up. I sigh. Of all the time she could poke into my business, it had to be now. So what's the juice? You got rejected by Alpha-chan, didn't you? I flushed white at the accusation. She didn't reject me, it was just, so I was right. I see. I grimaced. That reaction was all she wanted, wasn't it? You always act so smug, but I can read you like an open book. This is Venus. She sits next to me in class. Her name rhymes with penis. She earned a reputation as the school matchmaker, taking it upon herself to arrange whatever relationship happens to take her interest. For a while she was focused on getting Uranus and Neptune together. You want to get in Uranus? Neptune? Oh. Now she's decided to turn her attention to me. I want to say her heart's in the right place, but sometimes I think she plans these relationships just so she can imagine what sex would be like. She gives me this look sometimes, and there's a scary glint in her atmosphere. Come on, then. Spill the beans for old Venus. I'm gonna introduce a juicy detail you hear. She isn't going to budge on this, is she? I try to stay stubborn for a few seconds longer, but finally admit defeat. Fine. Talking to someone else might help clear things up anyway. I tell the story from the very beginning, back when I was just a little ball of hydrogen. Alpha has always held a special value to me deep down to my molten core. We used to be neighbors, living right next to each other. We hung around all the time as kids and talked about everything. There were those simple days before either of us had to worry about things like school. Of course, they didn't last. Alpha started drifting away from me, and before I knew it, her family had moved away. She didn't even contact me or even write. It was just like all our time together had never happened. Then we were reunited in high school and everything felt right again. It was awkward at first. Alpha apologized over and over for disappearing, but we managed to get over that and soon we were fast friends again. All the history didn't matter. I never held it against her. We were just two stars who felt right in each other's presence. You know, we took off where we'd left off. But now she's falling away again. I don't know why. She's trying to stay away. I don't want it to happen again. And that's when it hits me. What has me so afraid of how she's acting again. It feels like I'm going to lose her all over again. Well, dang it. That's quite a story there. Venus, to her credit, stays quiet. It just listens to the whole thing. For just a moment, I think I see a look of real compassion drift onto her face. Y'all really like her, don't ya? I nod, a little bashfully. I don't like saying this sort of thing out loud. It's a bit corny in my opinion. Well, there's one thing left for it then. What? If she means that much to you, you gotta go after her. Maybe she's doing this as a test. See if you're willing to go out of your way to check on her. If that's the case, you got no choice but to take her up on it, do ya? A strange freshness washes over me. Hearing this from someone else, it all seems so much clearer to me now. She's right! This is my chance to show Alpha what she means to me. I can't risk losing her again. Thanks, Venus-san! I rise out of my chair and head for the door. There's still plenty of time left in the lunch break. If I'm quick, I can still find her. Let me know how it goes, alright? I want to see what kind of a cute babies you two make. At the very end, her true colors shine through. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear that one. With all the speed I have, I charge through the corridor to Alpha's classroom. I have no idea what she's up to or what she's doing, but I have to take this chance. If I leave it any longer, there might not be another opportunity. With a big swing, I pull open the door to her class. I look around the room for her with a quick glance. There's no sign of her anywhere. I can see. What the? This is her classroom, right? She always eats lunch in here. I've seen her in here 100 times before. Where'd she go? After a few seconds, I realize people are staring at me. There's one group in particular that I've seen her hang around with, who all seem concerned as they turn in my direction. None of them seem to want to say anything. There's an awkward silence where the only thing anyone is doing is looking at me. Sorry for the interruption. I was just looking for Alpha-san. I feel the room cool down as the words leave my mouth. Murmuring starts between some of the students. Something is wrong. Something is very, very wrong. I almost don't want to ask, but I've come too far to stop. Does anyone know where she is? Eventually, it's one of the little girls who speaks up. She reminds me of Pluto, the odd girl who used to sit at the back of my class. Haven't seen her in years. Now that I think about it, not sure why. Alpha-san? Got rushed to the nurse's office a few minutes ago. What? I never moved so quickly before in my life. I fly through the school, pushing other students to the side as I make way to the nurse's office. This is my first time visiting, actually. For the most part, I've always had a clean bill of health. Alpha's had to come here once or twice before, but I never knew why. The moment I'm entered, I'm greeted by a horrific scene. Alpha's lying on the bed, panting and gasping as she writhes in pain. Dr. Roach is looking over her and shaking his head. He touches her, an act that should cause him to melt on the spot, but he pulls away unharmed. Even from here I can feel her heat, or rather lack of it. She's cold, far too cold to be ordinary for a star. He's a potato, or a rock.
I assume that you're the soul she's been rambling about?
Rambling?
She was quite insistent that no one should inform you about her state. Something about how she wanted to protect you. Hard to tell, but she's been delirious for some time now.
There's a coolness to his voice that makes me want to punch him. Alpha's in agony right next to him, and he doesn't even show a hint of emotion. What the hell is wrong with this man? Dr. Roach, what's happening to her?
I figured that would have been obvious. Hasn't she told you anything in your time together as classmates?
What? A hole opens up in my heart, flooding it with molten despair. This is the first I've heard of this. Has Alpha been keeping something secret from me this whole time? No. That's Alpha talking. Alpha's grunt gives way to something coherent, face flushed as she looks up at me. Doctor, please, make him leave. She curls up, visibly shrinking in front of my eyes. Whatever she's going through, it must be unimaginable. The doctor looks up at me expectantly. He probably wants me to leave him alone. Well, if that's the case, he's got another thing coming. Don't even try. I am not moving an inch until I find out what's wrong with her. So, come on. She tries to protest, but she's too weak to finish the sentence as she goes quiet. Roach looks toward me with a shrug.
I'm honestly surprised she kept this from you as well. I assumed an illness as dangerous as hers would have been much more obvious.
Illness?
Yes, Miss Century was born with an unusually low quality of hydrogen, the lifeblood of stars like yourself, in short. Like all stars, that fusion material has been gradually expended throughout her life cycle, and also like stars, she will dwindle and collapse when all those materials are gone. And what you're witnessing now is her body trying to cope as it loses the power to fuel itself.
I'm in shock. I've heard all about stars running out of material before, but it's meant to take millions of years for it to happen. Alpha's nowhere near that old. I look down on her again. I can barely feel her warmth, even when I'm right next to her. There's no way she can survive much more of this. But Doctor, there's gotta be something you can do. She's running out of hydrogen, right? If we give her more, the problem's solved, right?
That's sort of naivety. That's just the sort of naivety I expected. Do you have any idea of the sort of quantity I'd need to revive a star of Miss Centuri's size? The sheer scale you're expecting of me is ridiculous. Take yourself, for example. You've been burning through 620 million tons of hydrogen in a single second. How do you expect me to find a reservoir of that magnitude on short notice?
I want to scream. He's so calm about it. Even when there's someone dying on his bed? I can almost feel Alpha's pain as she squirms about, struggling to hold on to herself. Was this why she was trying to stay away from me? Did she not want me to see this?
There's one option if you are truly that desperate.
There is what?
But I wouldn't recommend it. It's not a well-respected medical process. Indeed, a lot of people would consider it illegal.
I don't hesitate for an instant. I don't care, I'll do whatever it takes to save Alpha Senpai. Alpha moans at the sound of that. I don't understand why. Surely she wants to live, doesn't she? Please, doctor, tell me what I gotta do.
Well, if you're that enthusiastic, I guess I'll have to tell you. You have to save her with your body, Mr. Saul.
My body?
There's only one resource capable of supplying the raw materials to keep a star alive, and that's another star. The two of you would have to fuse together to become one. Then your source of hydrogen would sustain her for the length of a normal life.
And what would happen to me?
You would die as a consequence. Alpha will take your fuel from you, and you will suffer the fate that would otherwise have been meant for her. In other words, should you so desire, you can save her at the cost of your own life.
I feel empty and raw. The only way to save Alpha is to die? I never thought about heat death before. It always seems so far away, but now I can't think about anything else. So good. Alpha manages to find the strength to speak. She leans up out of bed, wasting her precious energy. Okay, I can see why she didn't want to tell him. This doctor is really shitty. He's like, yeah, you can kill yourself and save her. Whatever. I'm a doctor. Alpha Senpai, don't talk. You can't afford to. All of a sudden, her struggling stops. She seems calm, like she's finally come to terms with her fate. It's okay, Soul-kun. I knew this would happen to me one day. That's why I left without telling you. I didn't want you to throw your life away from me. The world falls away beneath me. All this time I thought Alpha cut contact with me because she was being selfish. But all she wanted was to keep me safe. Please, Soul-kun. You got a long life ahead of you. Don't let me hold you back. She's acting brave, but I can see her tremble with fear. She's trying so hard to keep me from worrying about her. Can I just sit here and let this happen? Alpha wants me to live, but can I live with myself if I let her die? I can't let the person I love die. I'm going to fuse with Alpha. I'm sorry, Alpha Senpai. I can't let you die. For a moment, she's horrified, but then her expression gives way to surprise. I couldn't forgive myself if I just sat here and let you die. I know you want what's best for me, but I want what's best for you as well. If dying is the only way I can help you, then damn it, I won't hesitate for a second. Alpha grasped, her pain starting to show again. Soul-kun, why me? Why would you risk everything for me? I realized then that this is my chance. My one opportunity to let everything out. Hopefully she doesn't friend zone us. Alpha Senpai, it's because you mean a lot to me. You're the reason I get up and come to school in the morning, damn it! When I work hard, so I'll be able to keep up with you and look good. When I found you here, it was the happiest thing that had happened to me for a long time. I swallow as I summon up the words I've wanted to tell her for years. Alpha Senpai, I love you. You're the light of my life. Soul-kun, Soul-kun. Your voice is really ruining it, honey. Flare's form in Alpha's sunspots. It's the happiest I've seen her look. Or she's about to fart. Please, Alpha Senpai, let me do this for you! There's a tense silence in the room. Dr. Roach has excused himself, probably so we can have privacy for the part that comes next. At last, I'm gonna get laid. I'm gonna score. Alpha gives me a little nod. Alright, let's do it. Soul-kun, thank you so much. No, Alpha Senpai. I should be the one thanking you. I give up my chair to you. Both of us are slow and anxious when we start. I lower myself onto the bed besides her. Oh! I rub against her outer layer. She's so cold, but I can feel some of my heat passing through. I'm penetrating her. Oh! Alpha moans, but nods for me to continue. I pull closer, drawn to her as if by gravity. I slowly enter her center of mass. Oh! Piercing her mantle as gently as I can. I'm trying to be gentle, baby. You're so tight. That's her orgasm sound. She clings to me. We're so close now that we could be two halves of a whole. I can feel my heat flushing out of my core, pulsing through my body as we embrace. Alpha Sun Pie! It's gonna be okay! Oh! I slide my supernova into her black hole. We're going in the back door? What? And suddenly it feels like I'm on fire! I got the herpes! My strength is seeping out of me. The longer I do this, the weaker I'll get. I can feel my life draining away by the second. I'm living the dream! I'm dying having sex! This is the way to go out. But I stay undeterred, because this is the cause worth giving my life for. Getting laid. You won't have to spend every day wondering if it's your last. You can be a normal girl like everyone else. It'll be okay. I always say that during sex. Oh, baby, I love you. Oh, you're hot. You can be a normal girl like everyone else. They're like, what? It'll be okay. Sweat forms across my body. I'm so deep in. I'm sunballs deep. Inside Alpha now, I can't tell where she ends and I begin. My red dwarf is pulsing wildly, leaking out his first hints of hydrogen. Oh, I'm gonna come! I can tell the end is near. Everything's about to flow out of me. Alpha's melted in my hands, hissing with the steam and fire as her body finds the energy it needs to live. We're at the event horizon. My life is about to end. At the last moment, I pull close and whisper in her ear, I'll always be watching you, Alpha Sun Pie. Take care. Then my body reaches its limit and lets out its last big bang. Oh, I love you. I feel divine. First I thought my life would end. Dr. Roach had predicted, but that wasn't quite true. When I regain consciousness, I'm deep within Alpha's core, surrounded by the hydrogen I passed to her. Am I a baby inside the girl I just fucked? That'd be weird. I watch the gases fuse and merge, supplying Alpha with the energy she needs. I can hear her body pulse and throb with life again. I already know that this is where I'll be from now until the end of Alpha's life, watching over her wordlessly but never too far away. I don't know what she'll do with herself. Maybe she never planned for someone to save her like I did. Hopefully she doesn't date somebody else, because wouldn't that make you mad and awkward? I gave my life for you. I'm inside you. And then if they have sex, I can see his thing coming at me. Oh. But I hope this is the start of something great for her. A chance to live a real life like any other star her age. If she can do that, I won't regret the choice I made for a second. Live on, Alpha San. You deserve it. I love you, Alpha San. I played a lot of visual novels. And though this is a really kind of funny, surreal concept, this is a much better love story than a lot of things I've seen in my life. I'm sure you can fill in the blanks there. There will be a link in the description if you want to check it out. That was really cool. Good ending. Light of my life.